It's going to take a second. All right, started recording. All right, guys, this is Casey is wrong again, and this is part 2 of Beer Stuff Brad video game consoles history. So we left off of N64.
The old N64.
God.
It's amazing that I just hearing about that system, and I think when I started thinking about getting something else other than an N64, there were so many different versions of the N64. There was like different colors, different controllers. There was so much stuff, and then there was also, of course, like the rumors, they're gonna make an expansion thing for it, and which of course never really came here, but I loved it. I mean, I could have gone on playing it for years, honestly, and I did even after that. But the thing is, of course, Nintendo eventually they came out with their GameCube, but for me it was the pressure from everybody else. There was my brother had PlayStation, my Bear, one of our high school friends, he had like the PlayStation. He had he was going to get an Xbox, of course, and then everybody had something else. So I was just playing on theirs at that point. But I ended up getting a GameCube. It was the system. I think I was destined at some point to say I'm never going to get a Nintendo system again after getting a GameCube. I was really disappointed with it. It wasn't necessarily the hardware. The hardware I thought was fine. I liked the little mini discs. I liked everything about it. Other than the color, the first color, that purple was kind of ugly. But I liked the controllers. The controllers were amazing, I thought. I think they were a good continuation from what they had. And honestly, the last 3 controllers from Nintendo at that point were awesome. The Virtual Boy controller was actually pretty good. I do remember that. And so was the N64, and then this one was awesome. It was just the games. The games, they had all the Nintendo titles, right? The Mario games, they had the Zelda games. But it was like, other than that, it was like they were lacking something. I don't know what that was, but it felt like they were lacking something.
It was the third party. People, I mean, they lost a lot of third party support from the N64 because instead of going to discs, they stayed with cartridges, and that pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah.
That's why Final Fantasy VII was not for the N64. That went over the PlayStation.
Such a shame. Such what it could have been, God.
Yeah.
It always bugs me on that one too. I was like, I was really disappointed again, right? And I had the Virtual Boy a few years before that. N64, of course, absolutely redeemed a Nintendo in my eyes. But then it was GameCube, and I was like, and they were like sticking behind it. Everybody's like expecting them to like fold really quick and just do something different. And they stuck with it, which I'll give it to them. They stuck with it. But meanwhile, PlayStation was just coming out with amazing stuff. And then also then Xbox came along, and it was like, Xbox was like, I decided, I said, what the hell? I'm going to buy me an Xbox, and the reason is because Microsoft was behind it. And I'd been playing a lot of Microsoft games on the computer at that time. And I said, well, this is basically just like a PC and a console version. And it's going to be amazing. I mean, Microsoft has all these amazing licenses. It's going to be awesome. And at first, it was really slow with that Xbox. You had Halo, right? And it was like, that was it. And it was very slow. And
GTA 3 first came out for the Xbox. It took a while before they went to the PS2.
Yeah.
But I was pretty sure I think I got the collection of GTA 3, Vice City, and together. as a pack. I could be wrong. I try to remember, but I think I got that pack. But
Such a great game. That was another amazing game. I just want to set that out there. GTA was like kind of like a Zelda type game or Zelda Ocarina of Time type of game where it was open world like none other before. And still to this day, it's like
crazy.
It's unbelievable what people are doing on there, right? I mean, it's people are living simulated lives on there. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
I
But
mean, shit.
Xbox, yeah, absolutely. Hands down to them for getting that first. I mean, hell, how did that happen?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like you said, it was Microsoft. They can handle being a failure. I mean, they didn't even have a win yet in the
Right.
console wars.
Yeah.
But they certainly, I mean, they didn't come last until this round. I mean, if you consider, unless you consider the Wii U, it depends where you consider Wii U and the Switch is.
Right.
I mean, the Switch is definitely, no, Wii U is definitely pre-gen. I consider Switch as the first ninth gen.
Yeah, here's the thing: is that the Switch is so different than any other console before it, right? And I was going to talk about this because, I ended up getting a Wii, the original Wii, like after a long break of no console gaming at all. I did all computer gaming during that time for years between the GameCube or when I gave you my Xbox or I sold you my Xbox.
Yes! I was like, dang, I'm like, I bought it from you. I wrote a check to you. I remember that.
Should have saved that check. And your autograph was on it.
Oh, come on.
But I remember during that time, I mean, I went to school and I did a lot of damn PC gaming. And there was a lot of things happening on PC gaming too at that time. I mean, it's nuts. What online gaming was going crazy. And that's another story. But as far as console game, when I got the Wii, it was out for a year and I got it on a Black Friday sale. And I was like, well, Nintendo's back. I should probably show my loyalty and get my damn self a Wii. And I got it and I enjoyed a few games on it, like the Rock Band games and and all the stereotypical Nintendo games, right? And then after I got bored with it, and and then I was like, okay, and then I went back to PC gaming, and then at some point I started doing mobile gaming, and that's where Switch comes in. I think is Nintendo has realized at some point that they're like everything is going towards mobile at some point. People don't want to sit in front of their TV always. There's sometimes they do, but they also want to be able to take their gaming mobile when they choose. That's where the Switch came in, and it's completely different, right? So, I think Nintendo. I know that people give Switch a lot of shit sometimes, and even though I'm a Nintendo loyalist, I would consider myself. I don't own one because I'm still waiting for like the next generation one. Honestly, I'm still waiting for something, and I just think that it's a smart move and long term for them to do that. It made sense because I've seen how mobile gaming has like really overtaken. I mean, I had an iPad for like a good 4 years, and I played all sorts of damn games on that. And I was like, man, wouldn't it be awesome if I could connect this to my TV and play on my big screen TV?
And then bam.
And then boom, Nintendo's like, oh yes, we read your mind. And so better you search my internet history or something. I don't know, but but I agree with you. It's the real ninth generation system because it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid system, and it's something that's none of the other competitors right now. Sure, they can say they got this and they can got this, but can you do what the Switch does? No, you can't. You can't.
The only thing, I mean, with Microsoft, they have that where I guess controller that you can hook up your cell phone, or they kind of have like two pieces you can put on your cell phone. But like technically, that's not a console. Yeah, you're playing console games. That's
That's an
accessory.
accessory. That's an accessory. I saw somebody. I think I saw somebody do something like that with one of those. I think, and it's not. The thing is, it's like you can put an accessory on your phone that's not an Xbox. You can get like these game controllers, and people do it, right? And
Mhm.
it turns it into like a very Switch type of thing. But you're not going to be able to stream it to your TV. I mean, you can. It's just going to lag so bad that you're not going to be able to
Yeah.
play it. Um, so I don't know. I'm still waiting for that next generation Switch, and I think that system, when that comes out, is going to be a possible PlayStation killer because I think PlayStation is going the wrong direction. They're just building these bigger and bigger damn consoles. They're going to be so damn big. They're going to become a part of the TV at some point. And I bet you that's going to happen too at some point. Is the
Yeah,
Sony TV?
that's not a bad idea. Think about it. If you have like a certain TV and like let's say it's the PS, they could even do that with this current gen. I mean, they're slowly having us adapt to all digitals. I mean, that's why they have
Yeah,
the all digital PS5 and the all
sure.
digital Xbox.
Xbox. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
and they're doing part right, but it's like they're still like these systems are being more demanding because the games are getting more intense graphics and more.
Mhm.
They're bigger and they're longer and they're online capable. So it's like you have to have something, right? But the thing is that most people don't want to be able to be like the wait to go home to go play the damn game with their friends.
Mhm.
They don't want to do that. They want to be able to play it on their lunch break. Because
I did that too.
I have people that I work with in my last job. I remember I'd go out to the break room and they'd all be on their damn Nintendo Switch, all of them, playing people. And they're like, I'm playing my friend. He's on his lunch break across town. Okay. That's what people want to do. They want to have that mobile gaming type of feel with a console game, right?
I
So
I That's what I done too at my previous job. I had an hour lunch. So I would eat lunch, put something on my cell phone to watch or listen, and then play some Switch.
yep.
And like play like a lot of Fortnite and whatever.
Yeah.
But I miss that. Because and I would always have to hide it because we have some people break into cars or even took off with our work truck.
Oh, wow.
So one thing I want to bring up, I'm pretty sure we talked about this before, but it's related to this. Is that the whole Sears Xbox thing we did? I think it was Zach,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't
It was
it?
Zach.
Zach.
It
It
was
was
Zach.
Zach. And we talked about this before, but why not again?
Sure. Why not?
Where,
It's related.
yeah. So we're like, this is right after it came out. Maybe it could have came out. Well, actually, no, because Xbox came out what 2000. And I
2000.
started
Yeah.
work. I started working at Sears in 2002. So it was sometime right around 2002, 2003. So it
Yeah.
was right around that time frame. So we hatched the plan. Zach writes me a check, and I was scared as fuck about this because I was like, it's like this check better clear.
Yeah.
And then I would use my discount to buy this. And I think what happened, because I went to go buy it, they pulled me from work into like either the what's called the loss prevention. No, I think they pulled me into the GM's office, and I was like, oh my god, did they know that? Uh, I'm thinking what happened that check. They either was suspicious about how much the check was, and I'm going for the game system, or it was flagged for it was gonna clear? But they're like, is this check gonna clear? Like, yeah, it should. I have the money. I was like, oh, and I was about shitting my pants. Like, I hope this thing clears. And
Yeah.
I was pretty much getting interrogated
Well, he
for
was.
that.
I remember the other side of it. I remember Zach was like desperate. He was desperate for that thing. So, and I remember thinking to myself too. I was like, man, I don't remember him having a job. And I remember he worked like on summers, and so I was like, and he wrote him a check, huh? And so I don't know. Yeah, I was concerned about that too, but I remember that. I remember that day. Actually, I remember when you were like freaking out about that shit too.
Especially, I was freaking out because I was like, I had to put my trust in him so much, and then it's like, especially after I get pulled in the office, I bet it's got to be one of those two. Either they didn't think I actually had the money because the money I was making, or it came up flagged up saying that it didn't cleared. But eventually, I guess it did get cleared. So
It did
I
get
mean,
cleared. It did, and he got his Xbox.
yeah,
So
I mean, I think it was technically legal. I mean, he gave me money.
yeah,
I mean, I don't see why I couldn't be could get in trouble because it came. I accepted the money, and then I turned around and bought the Xbox. I mean, I don't see anything illegal.
and from that day forth, Casey never used his discount again or lended it to anybody.
Well, that's not actually was wild. My grandma was a cheap skate like from hell. She would come to Sears. She'll be like, Casey, can we use this on your discount? It's like, I can't say yes or no. I mean, you got to talk to my manager about this. And I think they allowed it this time. And he pretty much told me no more of that, like giving out your discount. It's like, oh, okay, I understand. But because it was only 10%, and that's really just the tax.
That's
So
just a
I mean,
tax, the sales tax. That's all it was.
yeah,
But but on something like an Xbox, where
that.
maybe you're like Zach or myself or somebody
Mm,
where we're not making that much damn money, sales
mm,
tax is a lot of money. That's like that's a
that
boatload of money right there.
yeah,
So
that's like what, $50. Let's say how much was an Xbox? Like 300 to 400, give or
it,
take.
it was like 350. I remember getting mine for 350 at Sears, by the way. And it's funny, I ended up selling it to you because I bought a damn thing at Sears. I actually I bought that on my very first credit card that I ever owned from Sears.
Oh God.
350, 300 it was the first thing I ever bought on credit ever. Mistake. But
Yeah,
um but yeah, I mean 350 and then so you're talking like a good 30, 40, at least $40 I would say on
yeah,
tax.
yeah, give or take.
Um
And
but
it's
yeah,
got to be at
it's a big deal.
least like 35, 40, like you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's like that is a chunk of change. Even nowadays, like if you can save like $40, I mean that's almost a game right there.
Right. Yeah. The games are so. That's another thing that kind of bothers me with console games today, is the
Mm,
prices of these games are outrageous. Like brand new, brand new. I mean, I'm sure they were back in the day too, but
mm.
I think right now they're just outrageous for some of these games. There's like, really, you're gonna pay $70 for a game? 70
Yeah,
bucks for
for
a
a
game that you're going to play for a little bit and then get rid of. I mean, so I guess you could take into that account that, hey, I'm going to sell this for, whatever, like $30 or whatever later down the round. So that means that, well, I only spent for whatever, if you wanted to do that math, but it's just like outrageous. And the thing is nowadays is like you have all these digital systems where
mm,
it's all bought online. So, why would I want to go buy a physical hard copy of a game? What is it for me to buy a hard copy versus a digital copy now?
Well, to me, I feel like at least you have something to sell. Like, I hate this game. I can delete the file. I mean, it's no good if you don't have the disc. So you could sell it. Well, you're just kind of screwed if you buy the digital game.
True.
But
That's a good point.
but but the thing is, nowadays, especially started with the PS4 and the Xbox One. I mean, they adapted the freaking transactions from the mobile, and now like everything, like I mean, Fortnite. I mean, even though Fortnite's getting a little bit better on the pricing, it's still a
Right.
little crazy. But
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's
especially
doing
if
that.
you,
Everybody's doing that same type of thing, like that the mobile
Mhm.
does. Is like, okay, you get a free game, but if you want to have the battle pass and this pass and this
Mhm.
pass, and if you
the
want to have
skins,
the skins and the all the extra things, all the extras,
yeah.
which of course they say is like no, doesn't go into your ranking or anything like that, but it's cool because it's neat. It's neat to play a game where it's like, okay, I want to be Darth Vader on this game. You know, it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
But it's nice. But the thing is with that is that a lot of times is the game producers won't try to make a good quality game that's full of integrity and keeps the hackers out and keeps the criminals out, right? Because that's the thing with Fortnite and a lot of these games that are really popular, like the Fortnite and the PUBG and the Call of Duty Mobile and all these
Yeah,
popular
cheaters.
mobile games that are across platforms is the cheaters. And the reason that there's so many damn cheaters is because the game is free. Because cheaters aren't going to pay for that shit. you
No,
know?
yeah, that's a good point. Some of them that play as the original skin,
Yeah. Yeah.
or they might have like, or somehow they go from oh gosh, the beginning of the season and they already got the final skin.
I just wish that I think there needs to be they need to find some. I mean, honestly, and if they figure out a way to do this, I would probably do it. I would buy it. If they did like some type of membership system where it would be like, this is our basic membership. You can play with all the only membership players where you have to pay a certain amount, right? And you
Yeah.
only play with those players, not the free people. If you don't play with the free people, more than likely you're not going to come across hackers or cheaters.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, I just don't see what's the point. I mean, I can understand like NES games, you use the Game Genie, but when you're playing like something like Fortnite and you're
Right.
just cheating, just to get a win, I'm
It's
like,
stupid.
you didn't really earn it. You just cheated to win.
Yeah, you cheated against 99 other people that were playing against you from all around the world. Who knows where you're cheating against you're not cheating against the computer. Like the game genie is that competing against, you're cheating against the
The
card,
computer,
right?
yeah.
you know, but this is like some other people who are trying to rank up and trying to do it, normally and, full of integrity and trying to do it right. And you're
Mm.
coming along and you're like, I'm going to win. I'm going to name myself anonymous and go dance on him after I win. It's like, you're an asshole, you know? I can't stand cheaters in those games. I can't stand it.
I'm not gonna lie. When like if I get a good shootout battle and I kill him, a lot of times what I like to do is I'll mark. I have the outline body mark, and then I go to the head and I'll teabag the head.
Teabag him. Well, that's different, but you're not cheating, right? You're not running really fast. You're not like shooting this way and then it hits you, or
Yeah,
or building something and then jumping off a really high height and then
and
having no
no
damage.
damage.
Yeah, that's like the best one ever. That not just on Fortnite, Casey. It's like on all of them,
Oh yeah,
and
I
so
know.
it's
It's like you
pisses
said.
me
It's
off.
a lot of these like PUBG. I mean, and I tried PUBG a couple times, and it's hard. Like to me, I'm so used to Fortnite, and I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind giving PUBG a shot, but like I would have to relearn that,
it's
and
hard.
then
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like I feel once I learn PUBG, then I probably forget everything I learned on Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's what I did. I mean, I played PUBG for a long time since it came out on mobile for a few years. And then what happened is little by little, more and more hackers started getting into their ranked matches, and
Mm-hmm.
it became so infuriating to me. I was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not putting another dime in this game. I'm out. And for a while, I just didn't play anything. And then they released Call of Duty Mobile. And I was like, well, Activision's got their shit together, right? And so I
Yeah.
got Call of Duty Mobile, and it was good for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a year, just like PUBG, the hackers started coming in. It's the same type of platform where it's like it's free and you buy the other stuff. And so now I'm at the point now with Call of Duty Mobile where it's like there's so many damn hackers all over the place. They don't do nothing about it. They do nothing. And now the thing with Call of Duty Mobile is that yeah, people playing on PlayStation, yeah, people playing on Xbox, yeah, people playing on mobile, either
Mm-hmm.
Android or Apple, against each other. So you have people playing with fucking controllers versus touchscreen controls. Who do you think's going to win? And it's really unfair. So that's the
Oh,
situation it is right now.
actually it's the people with the PC has the more advantage because they got the mouse and then they got buttons everywhere.
They have
So
two
they're like, oh,
controls.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, and then, and that's the thing. Like when you're playing on Fortnite, you can tell who's playing on PC or who's playing on console. I
Yeah.
mean, like I learned a trick if where I put a mellow yellow. He says when you're doing it, you use the triggers real quick because
Hmm.
you can tap it. The only thing with the Switch, I don't know if I can switch this over, but if on the Switch, you have to go select right, no, cycle through the building. Like if you want to put up a wall or you want to put up a ramp, you put a floor or a freaking pyramid for some reason, and it was just you had to cycle through them. So it's like I got used to the Switch version for a while, and then when I switched over to the PS4, playing this on stream, I'm it took me a while. A lot of times I had to look on the screen and say, "Okay, I had to hit this for that." Okay, now
Yeah.
I'm getting used to it. And if I don't, I kind of quickly glance, but I'm a lot faster. But
It looks like
uh,
it's difficult. The thing, I tried playing Fortnite, right? A while back, I tried to get it on mobile. Because that was right when I got rid of PUBG. I was like, okay, I'm going to get rid of this shit and I'm going to try Fortnite because everybody's playing Fortnite. I'm going to try it. And I remember thinking, I said, oh my God, this is like so different because the controls are different. Number one.
mhm.
Two, the mechanics of the game, how the character moves is different. And so I was like, "Whoa, this is going to be a mind fuck for me." And I was like, I played 2 or 3 matches, and again, I remember one kid, it sounded like a 4-year-old kid or some shit, and they come up and they're like, "Man, you suck, man, you suck," and I was like, "Oh, no way," and so I gave up, and I was so pissed, and so then recently I got a controller. I bought a controller that attaches to the phone. It's
Yeah,
designed for Fortnite.
no shit.
And let me see if I have that here. I'll show it to you. I got it here, I think. But it's designed for it. Where is that? Here it is. This guy right here. And it looks like a PlayStation controller, don't it? You
Yeah,
know?
It kind of looks like a PS4, PS3 hybrid kind of thing.
So what you do, it's Bluetooth, by the way. Okay, you
Yeah.
charge it, and you plug it up, and it's got this little thing that pops out, and you put your phone in there,
Oh yeah.
and it connects to it. Now, it also has a thing on here, so you can charge the phone through this. So if
Nice.
its power dies, you just have this plugged in. Um, I've played around with it a few times. It works flawlessly with Fortnite. The controls are perfect. You don't have to map nothing. Every other game sucks. Uh, but I got this, and I'm thinking I'm still on the edge about trying to just going all in on Fortnite. But I played with it, and it was fun with it. I was like, wow, I was able to do some things for the first time, and I played Fortnite like 6 or 7 times at that point, and I finally figured out how to build something, which was like I was having so much trouble because of the button confusion. But what I think this does is it gives me the appearance, the feeling that it's a console game, and I'm
Yeah.
more familiar with the console game, with that style of game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes. Maybe we'll get a match one of these times. But
Oh, we
it
definitely
was
got
pretty
to.
cool. I love playing it with this, but on the touchscreen, I was always like,
No.
oh shit, where's, yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, how could you feel buttons and like I was like, how do you know you're hitting it right? I'm like, I don't, and I guarantee you they're not actually using touchscreens. I guarantee they're using either Bluetooth
Xbox or
control.
PS. Yep, they're using a console control. There's a
Yeah.
guy I played with on Call of Duty Mobile who was a friend of mine, and we used to play on there. And I asked him, I say, how do you move so quickly? Because there'd be times where he would do this like 360 thing, and I'm like, he's like, well, I got an Xbox controller connected to my phone. And I was like, excuse me, and it's like, yeah, it's not legal supposedly because the developer at that time, they didn't allow controllers, and he told me how he did it, and I was like, that's a lot of effort to go in there and do that so you could have that advantage over people, because most people are playing it with their touchscreen controls. That's what I'm doing. And he's like, no, you're not, you're using a controller. And it's like, no, I'm not. And it's like, you're the same left, Frank, as I am. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Got into a big damn argument over it. But yeah, I think that's the thing with the Switch, right? So
Mhm.
the Switch has got everything built in, and it's like the same feeling of a mobile device with not having to worry about hitting damn things on the screen and always having, oh shit, I misfired and I didn't hit the right button on the screen.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think I think a lot more systems going in the future will be going to, hopefully. I think Microsoft might get on that before Sony, but I think Nintendo has the lead on that, and time
I
will show that. Time's gonna show that. I
I
really
agree.
do.
I mean, how much more powerful systems can we get? I mean,
It's right now it's like ridiculous because they're basically producing like a gaming PC,
yeah.
and you might as well go buy and build your own gaming PC
And
rather than spending $800 on a damn PlayStation, right? That's going to
yeah.
be outdated in like maybe a couple of years. Who knows? You know. And the damn thing is huge. It's huge. I've
Yeah.
seen one of these. They're huge. And the thing is with them now is most of them, the ones that you see are digital. So it's like, what's the point then? Why don't you just get a damn PC? Why?
Yeah.
I
It's
don't.
funny. What's funny is that while the PS5 is tall as hell, I mean, it's the tallest PlayStation ever made. While the Xbox has been getting smaller. While you think this Xbox Series X is going to look like the size of like a subwoofer, and it's actually pretty small. It's actually
Yeah.
pretty small. It's like that big, and then the Xbox Series S is like a size just a little bit bigger than a brick. I think it's like almost
Yeah.
like brick and a half. That's
They're
what
smart.
it looks like.
Yeah.
It's a very small console. It's extremely small.
Yeah. Microsoft wants to build things smaller. They want to give it lots of power, but also build it so that it has maximum online potential, right? So that
Yeah.
it can use that. Sony, on the other hand, what they want to do is build the most freaking power that will last the longest, right? So that system can have a good 4-year run without having to worry about updating it or any of that crap. Microsoft don't give a shit. They're a master of updates, right? So they're like, okay, let's build this thing small, compact. It's going to look cool. People are going to want special editions of it. It's going to look amazing. And people do. People like flock to that. I mean, I see it and I'm like, I want that shit too. I mean, it looks amazing. So,
Well, and from the previous generation, started the whole mid generation refresh with like the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X.
Xbox X, yeah. The Xbox XXX. Wait.
If you get this, if you initial Xbox One X, what it spells?
What's it spell? Xbox One X. Xbox One X. Wait, what? What? What's it spell?
Xbox.
What? Oh, Jesus Christ. That's stupid. That is so dumb.
Isn't it? You see it? You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And then the Xbox Series S, all digital, that's initialed Xbox SAD.
Xbox sad.
Yeah, because it's Xbox. No, it's Xbox One SAD. Because
Xbox One sad.
So yeah, it's because it's Xbox One S, all digital.
The sad edition.
Yeah, and it's very hard to come by those. So I wouldn't doubt if that's actually worth. Like I only seen one of those out at Walmart. No, not at Walmart, at a vintage stock, and I think they wanted like $300 for it. Let's see, Xbox One S.
Xbox sad edition. That's great.
All digital. Let's see how much it goes for. One on there's $175. Oh my God, there's one for $82, but it's an auction.
Yeah, Microsoft, I'll give it to them. They've come out with so many damn editions. They kind of pulled from Nintendo's book on that. Be like, oh, let's release one in this color and that color, and then make one in this edition and that edition, and then also do colors for those, and then it's like, oh, it's just nonstop, different special editions, and it's probably just going to get worse, honestly.
Get this. I'm looking on eBay for the Xbox One S, all digital. They have 48 bids, and it's going damn near $400, with almost $30 for shipping.
New in box or what? Used?
No, it says new. It says the system plus 3 games, new sealed. So I don't know what's the point.
All
You
digital
bought
plus
this.
3 games. Wait a second.
That's why I'm looking. Oh, so hold on. That's weird. There's some damage on the box.
Yeah, when they stole it off the truck, it probably fell on the ground. I don't know.
And then, like, what are the games? And they don't even. I don't think they even show the games. I think they just showed the box.
It's Wheel of Fortune and Price is Right and
it's the garbage games. Oh my God! Never mind. It went from Oh, never mind. It's, in Canadian money, it's almost $500, but in American
Well,
money, almost four.
yeah, well, the Canadian money, just like here, the money is worth garbage to the U.S. dollar. So, and it's just the way it is. Like, for instance, I was just, I'm going to tell you something really good. This is off topic, but I was talking to my wife earlier, and we were talking about looking at a new apartment, and I got a kind of a laugh out of this because the new price of this apartment that we were looking at getting is 1 billion point. No, sorry, actually 1.1 billion is how much that costs. Not dollars. God knows it's not dollars, but it's 1.1 billion. That's the kind of pricing we're in here for buying an apartment. Is billion.
Buying or renting?
Buying one
Buying
point.
an apartment?
Yes,
Buying an apartment?
it's going to cost me 1.1 billion Colombian peso, which in U.S. dollars is about like $110,000.
Wow.
But
Hey,
it's weird seeing those like things. Like if you want to buy a Coca-Cola, it's 3,000. 3,000. It's 3,000 to buy a Coke. Okay, so
and what would that be like actually in American money though?
it's a good question. Let me look. I bought a Coke here this afternoon. Let me see, just
It's
for
like,
shits and
hey,
giggles.
it's like I gotta take out a loan for a Coke. It's like
79 cents.
is it? Wow. Wow,
79 cents. That's for a bottle of Coke.
that's
So
not
I mean,
bad.
it's cheaper. I think it's cheaper probably, but it's 3,000 rather than you're talking about like like a buck.
I'll be like, it's like it's like imagine asking for a loan, a bank. It's like I need to borrow $3,000, and I'm like, why need to borrow $3,000? I want to buy Coke.
Like Coke.
Okay. It's like I need the money to use for that vending machine right outside.
Yeah, can you get me a couple 3,000, 4,000, please, for the Sprite? Appreciate it.
Oh
Yeah, it's
man.
weird. It took a while to get used to that monetary system because it's like thousands. You're dealing with thousands rather than like in the tens, right? Or because everything you could possibly think of if you go to the grocery store is going to cost you under like $100. But here it's like you're spending thousands for each thing. So by the
Item.
time you're done at the registry, it's gonna say, 695,000 or something, and you're like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. No, it's not really that much money. It just looks big. It just looks really big, and it's
See,
scary.
that's weird though. I mean, why would they do that? I mean, I know it's not just that. I'm pretty sure it's like that in Japan too, where like it's very high looking price, but it's then you convert it. It's like okay, that's more reasonable. I mean, like even Europe, their pricing actually I guess I forgot what they called their money in Europe, but I know they're worth more than the American dollar.
Where?
So
In
in
Europe?
Europe, yeah,
It might be the euro. The euro, the
yeah,
thing
the
is,
euro, the euro is worth more than the American dollar.
a little bit. But the thing is, the euro is not very strongly held because there's not a lot of countries around the world that recognize the euro, like the dollar. The dollar is
Yeah,
the most accepted monetary value in the world, and that's one of the parts why it's very strong. And what I mean by that is that it holds its value. And it's funny to me because living as a U.S. citizen outside of the U.S. in a different monetary system and hearing about people bitch about, oh, the economy's in ruins and all this shit. It's like, you shut the hell up. You don't know what you're talking about. The U.S. dollar is still the standard for the world. If you had any clue of understanding of that, you wouldn't be bitching about how bad it is there. You have no idea. We're talking about 3,000 Colombian pesos, actually more than that, just to meet a buck. And you think your economy is bad? Give me a break.
That's true. Good point.
Spoiled rotten. So it's the same way with like Mexico and every other damn country in the world. It's the same way. The U.S. has got it good, and they just don't know how good they got it. And it doesn't matter what president's in there. It doesn't matter if they're Republican, Independent, freaking Democrat, or freaking that shit like Wiccan or something. It doesn't matter.
I got a quick question. This is more off topic. This is my fucking show, so I don't care if we go off topic.
Go for it.
So I know people in Canada cares about our American president in politics.
Mm-hmm.
Is down there, do they care what's going up here as well?
They care in essence that they want. Here's the thing: is do they care in terms of they're going to change their policies towards the U.S.? No, they don't care. But they do care in the terms that they want people in power that will support their causes. Okay, they want and that will uphold and make sure that American institutions are running correctly and all that. Right. I'll give you an example. I mean, I've been here only been here for about 5 years, 6 years maybe, and about 6 years. And in that time, there have been 3 different presidents. Okay,
Yep.
There's been Obama, there's been Trump, and now there's been Biden. Okay, 3 different presidents. Now, as far as the change and the outlook of it, nothing's changed over all 3 presidents. I mean, it's been the same. The gas prices have been the same. All 3 presidents. Doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. Okay.
Well, the gas actually it dipped during both.
Our gas prices has never changed. Not once.
Are you talking about? Okay,
in the U.S., ours have been the same the entire time. Our gas prices here, in fact, they don't change, but maybe 2 points in U.S. terms. That would be 2 cents. 2 cents for the last 6 years. Doesn't matter.
Well, how good is the price of gas good down there, or is it actually?
It's about $3.50.
Okay, so
$3.50.
I mean, right now in Oklahoma, last time I checked, it's $3.09.
Yep. We never. And the one thing that I was taught when I moved here, it was that don't ever look for the gas to go down. The prices never in like 50 years have gone down. It always goes up.
Oh, it doesn't shock me.
And it has nothing to do with the presidents or the none of the shit.
It's business.
It's business, exactly. And then that's the same way in the U.S. is it's business is what it comes down to. I don't think the president or the Senate, the Congress, or any of this shit has any hand in it. People are going to get screwed in the ass if they want to get, if they allow them to get screwed in the ass. That's the way it is.
I think why the gas prices dipped in America for a while is that we went to ethanol.
Yeah, ethanol. There's a lot of ethanol. There's ethanol here. In fact, we have natural gas stations here where, like at normal gas stations, we can go fill up with natural gas and natural gas cars. That's pretty common here. And it has been for a while. And I was like, Jesus. I remember seeing that and I was like, wow, what the hell? This is the third world. They're like ahead of shit. And it's like, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
Nowadays you get all these electric cars. Now every once in a while, like at Targets or wherever, they'll have some electric car
charging stations.
Yeah.
They build those into the apartment complexes here in the parking garages. They have them right in. You go to a mall and you can get your car charged. There's a whole line of them and get charged while you go shop. I thought that was interesting. There's things like that, but in the most part, people here, they don't give a shit what's going on about the U.S. because
Mm.
a lot of times, like like when Trump became president, there were a lot of people pissed at him, but there's also people pissed at Obama for different reasons. There's people pissed at Biden for different reasons.
Oh yeah.
No one's perfect, right? No one's going to be
No.
perfect. But for the most part, they want somebody that's stable, that is going to contribute. And honestly, the last three presidents, all three of them, have supported
Mm.
Colombia in different ways. So even Trump, he was supportive. So it's like no one's going to complain about it.
See, I guess I'm a Democrat, but in 2016 I voted for Hillary, but I was like on the fence.
Yeah.
And then no, if I would told Liz I voted for Trump, she would kill me. So I was like, okay, so where I don't have to hear about it. And I was to the point like I wasn't even sure if I was going to vote. So it depends if how long is the line, and the line wasn't that long because it was late at night. So I was like, okay, I'll go vote. And I was still on the fence, like I say. And then there should have been no reason why I didn't go vote this year, last year, but I just wasn't registered still. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
registered now, but
Well, I tell you, I've been more involved in politics since I got here. And the thing is when I was in the U.S. for, when I was younger and when I first voted, I was a hardcore Republican. I listened to the radio talk shows. My parents were Republican. That's why I kind of became it. I didn't really even choose. It was like brought upon me. I didn't even, it was like, okay, I'm going to be Republican, right? And then I listened to all the talk shows and everything, and I voted for Bush back in the day, and then in another elections, I voted for the first election of Obama. I voted for the other guy. Obama won, and then the second election for Obama, I voted for Obama. And the reason I had done that is I started listening to these damn shows, and they were just flat out being like hateful towards this guy and like unjustly. And I was like, man, this is garbage. And I couldn't stand for it. So I switched. I switched parties, and my family is like, no, you do what you do have to do. And and they supported me even though they're all Republicans still.
they're like,
And
we disown you now, though.
well, no, it's like they're like, hey, do what you got to do. It's your vote. It's not mine.
Yeah.
And so I voted for Obama, and then when Trump was getting elected, I was like, man, the thing that pisses me off about Trump is being a former Republican. I saw Trump and I was like, this guy is not really Republican. This guy's like something else.
Yeah, I agree. I
And
agree.
it
He's
pisses me
definitely
off that people think he's Republican. It's like, he's not. You're full of shit. You don't know what you're saying. He's not Republican.
he's
So
like you said, he's something different
he's
because
something else.
he's a
Yeah.
business person.
Yeah,
But
I think he's like a right wing extremist almost, right? There's left wing extremists too. It's like Bernie Sanders, left wing extremist socialist, and then Trump, right wing extremist, Republican, crazy nut job. But it's the same way. It's extremists on both sides, and people don't want to recognize that. I consider myself right now, I consider myself a Democrat, but I consider myself a moderate in that I'm willing to work with the Republicans. I know what they want.
yeah,
I know what the Democrats want now too. So I feel I'm in the middle, but I also am not going to be like, oh, I'm just going to vote party lines every time I vote.
I,
I'm not going to do that. So, like
dude,
for instance,
dude, if you're into politics, dude, you need to get onto Derailed with Drew because, especially with him and Frank from the Harsh Truth, and sometimes of J Man and Brody, they're and even Cora, they're all really into politics, and I think you would fit into that.
Well, I would love to, but the thing is of me, it's just like, and I realize this, right? Because I used to be a Republican. Is there's a lot of hatred for anybody that's outside of their partner. It's not hatred, or it's disagreement and
Mm.
assumptions, and people assume things, and it's like, well, listen, I used to be a Republican, man. I understand what you stand for, what you real Republicans stand for, and I get that. I understand that. But I also understand on the other side of things what the Democrats, real Democrats, stand for. And like
Mm.
Biden, let me tell you something about Biden, okay? Listen, I voted for that guy because I didn't like Trump. And I didn't like Trump in that he was an embarrassment for the country. I hated going outside and people here in Colombia coming up to me and being like, what the hell were you fucking people thinking? Are you fucking on crack or something? That's what people assume, that people are just drugged out of their mind and didn't know what the fuck they're doing in the US. It was embarrassing. It was an embarrassment. It's the biggest embarrassment of my country. And I felt so sad that I was like, man, what was going on with this guy? And I felt really complex. So I was like, "Look, this is what I got to choose from. I got to choose from Cheeto Jesus and, this guy who's like falling asleep over here. And, and it was
I
like,
would. Wait,
I was like, you know
wait,
what? I'll choose the bookworm, the guy that's sleeping. I don't give a shit, because at least
huh?
the people that are behind him aren't going to be like, bat shit and sending people to. I don't know. It's just, I listen. I think they both had their issues. I don't like anything that Biden's done thus far in his administration, but I do know this, that the other people and the foreign parties around the world, including here in South America, are respecting America again. That's a good
Well,
thing.
I'm gonna have to cut
That's a
it
good
right
thing.
there because we're almost hitting that hour mark again.
Yeah,
But
that's right. But
so
yeah, man,
I'm,
I don't like talking politics, but I will, but because
I
I've seen both sides of it. So,
I
but
think you would fit perfectly. But I think if we're gonna do another round of this, I mean, you sound like you're more into PCs nowadays. So, and I know you're a big PC guy. So we should sit down and maybe talk about PC games another day. You know?
yeah, absolutely, could go about that. I've seen it go from some extremely boring shit to some really amazing stuff to present day. So I've
Yeah.
seen it all. So it'd be awesome to talk about.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great thing. I mean, if we'll try to get together and again,
Sounds good.
but I'm gonna go ahead and rest. So I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And be safe and happy Halloween in case I don't see you again. Bane is watching. He's watching always. Happy Halloween.
See ya.
See ya.